Hello, my name is Madeline Jekot and I will be presenting on KI number 5. I am currently enrolled in all of the 300 level ECE courses that will be covered through this KI. A brief overview of the presentation is I will start with antennas in ECE, about ECE 342. Then I will move to ECE 332, which deals with filters and amplifiers, and then I'll move to ECE 312, which also covers filters, but as well as frequency shifting and a mixer. To begin, this is the radio system block that I will be talking about. Power supply management was talked about in KI1, and then KI4 also talked about the amplifier, mixer, power amplifier, bandpass filter, and the outgoing signal through the diplexer and the antenna. KI5 will cover this highlighted section in green, which is the receiving side of the antenna, going through the diplexer, a bandpass filter, low noise amplifier, mixer, another amplifier, and then finally to go through the low pass filter. First, we're going to start with an antenna. This sends and receives signals. Right now we're looking at the receiving side. Because KI4 was the voice signal that we were sending out, for example on a phone call, now we're wanting to get an answer back from our friend, so we're going to look at the receiving side. We want this to be a small, and we know that size is proportional to the wavelength, but we don't want a giant phone or a giant antenna attached to our phone, because that's not very practical. So we used a different kind of antenna. You normally want something that's like an omni antenna, so you can move it around in many different places. But in the real world, we use different things than just like dipole antennas. So what you see on the screen is an image of the antenna we looked at. This is a two-layered antenna with lots of little prongs and curled bits. This is just to help make the antenna fit better into the cell phone and be more practical. Next, we're going to move on to the diplexer. This allows an incoming and outgoing signal. Again, since you're having a phone call, you don't want it to be a one-sided conversation, so you have to have something that allows a signal, an incoming and outgoing signal, to both reach to the antenna, because you don't want to put two antennas in the phone. So you want to send and receive through this antenna. In order to do this, you set the outgoing signal to be a low frequency signal, and you send it through a low pass filter. And the incoming is a high pass filter or a high frequency, which can go through the high pass filter. Next, we're going to move on to the band pass filter. This is because the antenna doesn't just pick up your conversation or your frequency. If you're in a room with a bunch of people or just any noise anywhere, the antenna will both pick up some noise, but also you want to select just the frequency you're looking for, because everyone has a cell phone, like it operates for that phone call at a different frequency, and you don't want to have somebody else's conversation. So you use a bandpass filter to find the signal that you're looking for. Hopefully it's in the pass band, which can be seen in the figure on the screen. To make a bandpass filter, you use a high and low pass filter, and this cuts out the signals that you don't want to intercept. Next, the signal will go through the low noise amplifier. This amplifies the signal and also keeps the ratio of the noise and signal so it doesn't add any additional noise. It minimizes some of the noise, but you don't want to destroy the signal. There are lots of different amplifiers in the circuit to keep increasing the amplitude, but for simplicity we only included the low noise amplifier and another amplifier at the end, when in reality there's always lots of amplifiers for this signal. Next, we're going to go to the mixer. This is demodulation. So for the outgoing signal in KI4, we had the low noise from our voice, but we wanted to send it out through the antenna, so we mixed it with a high frequency to carry the information. Not necessarily caring about the high frequency signal, but the low one that made the envelope for it. In this case now we have the envelope still with the high frequency in it, but we no longer really want that full high frequency, so to do this we send the signal through a mixer and demodulate it. So we cut out part of the high frequency section. Now, as you can see after the mixer, we have less of those high frequencies, and now we only want to look at the low frequency signal that that makes the envelope for it. This is why we're going to next go to the low pass filter. The figure on the screen is the envelope that once had the high frequency signal through it, but now through the low pass filter only the low frequency signal survived, and this is the signal we want. This is the signal of your friend's voice on the other side of the phone line. And so we have now the nice voice signal of the data we actually want without any of that high frequency in it. Next is going to go to the amplifier stage. This has a low magnitude signal. Again, the signal is always being amplified because before you go to the A to D, you want it to be have a larger amplitude. And so this can be designed using concepts from 332. In conclusion, a radio system and a phone can be broken down into small pieces. They're all concepts covered in the 300 level courses. It's a great way to relate electromagnetics, microelectronics, and signals processing, because as you'll notice, a lot of the classes start to overlap, and it takes these kind of crazy ideas and concepts and kind of out there ideas, and then it kind of puts them more practical and shows you why they can all be useful. Thank you all so much for listening to my presentation. Hope you have a great night.